This is India's most affordable electric car. Yes, Tata Tiago, the EV, has been launched at a very attractive, very stunning price, in fact, of 8.5 lakh rupees. Now, of course, there are various variants. The trim range goes up to about 11.8 lakh. But for that pricing, you get a whole lot of cars. So that's what we're going to see in this video. So join us and let's take a good look around. Now, as you can see at the front, it does remain very much a Tiago, but there have been a lot of cosmetic changes. You've got this really icy cool blue here, which signifies, Tata's electric drivetrains. The grille has been changed. The tri-arrow pattern, which is on the regular petrol version, is no longer here. You get a flat panel. Below as well, there are some changes, and the tri-arrow pattern does feature over here. Now, it does look nice and sharp, and I really like that, a lot of the elements that made the Tiago really handsome car have been retained. Tata haven't really gone over the top with the EV. There are some bits that have been jazzed up, however. In fact, if we move over to the side, you'll see the alloy wheels, or rather, in fact, I should correct myself, they aren't alloy wheels. They're actually steel rims with wheel caps, but they do a very good and convincing job of looking like alloys. Very nice, very upmarket, and really suit the car. If you look at the car, yes, you won't notice, but it does sit a little lower, but only by about 2 or 4 mm. That's on account of the heavier batteries in the Tiago. So ground clearance is down from about 170 mm to about 166, which isn't all that much of a problem in any case. Now, over here at the back, what you'll probably immediately notice is the new lettering in a really nice cool font. I really like it, and it's got Tiago.ev. That's how Tata Motors are marketing the car. So you have the model name, as well as the fact that it is an electric vehicle, also proudly displayed on the boot. Speaking of which, the boot, let's take a look inside, because I'm sure you want to know whether the battery has intruded in boot space. Now, the good news is that it really hasn't. 242 litres is what the standard Tata Tiago boot capacity measures. This one, Tata says, is 240. However, if you look underneath, you'll notice there is no spare tyre. What you get with the car is a puncture repair kit only. Now, at the back, one thing I really wanted to see was what happens to the floor. Typically, in a lot of EVs, the floor gets raised and you end up sitting in a very knees-up position. I'm really happy to see that that's not really the case with the Tiago. You see, what happens here is the battery, it's a split battery pack. It's towards the back under the seats here and in the boot. And as a result, the flow here remains at its standard position. So it's a fairly natural seating position. You don't have that knees up, and quite comfortable. Speaking of comfort as well, as with the Tiago, it is a spacious car. So there's ample leg room. There's a lot of headroom as well too. Features, however, aren't that many at the rear. You have to remember this is a budget hatch, so things like rear AC vents or USB ports are missing, but space, comfort are really fantastic. Right, so at the front, similar to the Tiago, the standard Tiago, which is a good thing because the interiors really look nice and upmarket. The texturing on the dashboard, on the plastics here below, they are hard plastics, but that's only when you touch them you realize, and otherwise when you look at it, it does look quite nice. You also have a touch screen, and it is a Harman sound system, so it does sound nice. In our time with it, with the regular Tiago, we were impressed with that. That remains the same on the EV too. The steering wheel and the instrument panel as well, similar to the Tiago. So it's a familiar environment, and that's not a complaint. It's actually a good thing. What is different, of course, is this little guy down here, the drive mode selector. And interestingly, you have drive modes as well. So you've got a city mode or a regular mode, and you have a sport mode as well too. Now, there are 2 battery capacities offered with the Tiago EV. You have a smaller capacity, which is a 19.2 kilowatt battery, has a claimed range of about 250 kilometers. And there's the larger one, which is 24 kilowatt hours, which has a larger 315 kilometer range. So that's how the 2 battery packs work out. Range, of course, will vary, and stay tuned to our Autocar India channel, because we will be driving this car very soon, and we will make sure we test the actual real world range. Right, so over here, as you can see in the engine bay, there is no engine, but it is a full bay, and that's because you have the motor and the power electronics all over here. The motor, well, the Tiago EV comes in with two motor outputs. You have a 61 horsepower and a 74 horsepower motor, obviously with the two different battery packs as well. We don't know what it feels like to drive, but of course stay tuned to the Autocar India channel, subscribe of course, and you'll be the first to know when we drive it and test drive the car. That's all for now though. This is the Tiago EV. If you've liked the video, do give it a thumbs up.